Oos. Hello, different setting. My voice is slightly dead, as you probably heard in the Morfessa video. That was yesterday. Today it was a bit worse, but now it feels kind of shaky. But I gotta record this. I gotta talk to you about new things. So today's Sunday, the 21st of July, and the news that Bushiroad put out in their product announcement for the rest of this year was on Thursday. So there was a lot of stuff announced. The reason why I didn't release my usual on time video talking about everything that was revealed is because I was out. Actually, the news came out here in Japan. It was about 1 p.m. it started, and I was just in class. So I mean, and then I was out when it was going and when it ended. So I just kept checking Twitter to see what's new and basically just checking in to see what they're announcing. And there's a lot of stuff that they talked about, and honestly I was actually waiting to see if maybe, because Bushiroad said they would release English slides a day after, but then something came up and they couldn't, so I was like, well, I guess I'll just do this video without waiting then. Anyway, so I am in Japan. I've been recording a small little thing where I kind of take progress of my locals here. I haven't been going to that many. I actually didn't go this whole week just because I've been busy with people and doing social things, and just having fun with friends and my studies as well. But I'll be back on it this coming week. It's Sunday. But yeah, so I'm also gonna do one more big project I'm planning to do here in Tokyo that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. So I can only do it while I'm here, so that's something to look forward to. Uploads have been a little bit scarce just because I asked my editor, Bella, to edit some videos, but she couldn't do as much as I thought, and so then I kind of thought that there would be more, so then I had to just sit down and edit myself. So they're gonna be back on track now, but apologies for that 1 week of just almost drought. So my voice should be recovering soon too. I'm not gonna record anything else until it's recovered, but that should be tomorrow or the day after, so it should be okay. But anyway, so with the new product announcements, let's get into it. There's a few things I want to cover. First things first is the Bushi Navi. So this was, I want to pull up the slides actually because Bushiroad themselves covered it, and I want to just find exactly what they talked about. So it was Bushi Navi for tournaments. It's the Bushiroad Fighters Navigator. Search for official tournament information, register for tournaments on the spot, check match pairings instantly, push notifications before start of tournament, review past tournament results, and more. Now this makes me pretty excited because I vouched for kind of a tournament software or a way to track your progress and review past tournament results. That's huge. Being able to look at your own previous tournaments and having a platform online where you can look at your local tournaments even, that's huge. Even being able to register for tournaments, I'm assuming that's not just to locals, that might be just to the big ones, but even if it's just to the big ones, that's really good because we'd have a standardized, centralized platform for all of that. Seeing your pairings, we don't have to always check the papers or check the screen to see where your pairings are, just see it on the app. That's perfect. And then just all these things, this is gonna be perfect. And so they plan to roll this out next year, and so this was already confirmed for English basically because Bushiroad of the West translated this into English immediately. So I'm pretty sure that means that this will come to the West as soon as it comes to Japan, so that's a very, very good thing. Thank God it's not Japan only. So to me, this was a really good start already. It's something that seemed really exciting, and so I hope they do execute this pretty well. Then they announced that new card game or new card game project. I forgot what it was called, but it's apparently very similar to Victory Spark, which is an old Bushiroad game that got cancelled a long time ago. And so this one was called Rebirth For You. And so Touya, our friend, he covered the similarities in a video, so you can check that out. I'll put a link in the description, but I'm not too interested until we get proper concrete news. I mean, for now we just got promotional stuff and who will be the voice actresses of the mini anime and stuff like that. It's sounding like the Luck and Logic treatment for now in terms of how they hyped it up, so we'll see how it is. But yeah, so there's that. But then looking at other things, for Buddy Fight For Me, they announced a Gridman collab, which was whoo, that was big. That's hype. I need to find myself a K-split, so I'm gonna need that. Luckily, it's at the end of the year, so I'm safe until then. But then for Vanguard, obviously the main reason why you came here, quite a few cool things. So they announced the new anime, so that's not gonna be a new anime, but it's gonna be a prequel to everything, in which it focuses on Shin. So the card shop owner and how he actually, keeps Card Capital alive in the face of conglomerates. And so it's going to be interesting. He's going to be using Genesis. I watched the stream myself after I got home just to really see what they say, just so I can just so I know what the truth is and not what people are saying out of like butchered translations. But it's funny because when the creator of Vanguard, Akira Ito, was asked why he's using Genesis, he was basically like, yeah, we couldn't really incorporate Genesis into the anime like throughout the V series, so now we're gonna give Genesis to Shin. I was like, that's it? It was kind of funny in that sense, but I mean, why not, I guess? It kind of makes a nice transition of why, like, Misaki in the original series goes from OTT to Genesis, I guess. So, I mean, they could use that as an excuse of, like, she looked up to him or something, or wanted to, like, you know, pay tribute or whatever. But the Genesis stuff itself, like the Astral Planes and the Grade 5 Grey Elemental, is interesting. Now, bear in mind that we don't know the skills of neither the Grade 5 nor the Astral Plane. What my kind of expectation is that, like, you have the skill of the Uranus. I also love the Kumin Uranus meme. It's pretty good. It's actually a good combo. But anyway, so Uranus obviously makes force markers under your Vanguard when you call him or ride him by Soul Blasting 2. You can bounce him with Kumin, therefore Kumin Uranus. But the point is that once you have 5, you can create an Astral Plane. And so this Astral Plane goes behind your Vanguard, and you can call that, like, Grade 5 onto it. But the Grade 5 has to be in your main deck, whereas the Astral Plane is, like, same as, like, tokens, like, gift markers, etc., in that, like, other pile. So the thing is that they didn't show us the skills of the plane or of the Grade 5. And so what I think it might honestly be is that, like, if right now we're like, oh, it's going to be, like, inconsistent to search and all that stuff, I feel like maybe the Astral Plane is just going to be like, when acquired, pay a certain cost, search the Grade 5. Like, maybe not even a certain cost. I'm guessing they will, because it's like 70k, it's massive. There has to be some kind of cost, but I'm pretty sure the plane will have some kind of searching effect. If it's not a searching effect, it'll be similar to a gift marker, I think, and will have some kind of effect for the Grade 5 that's on top of it. You know, we don't know what that might be, but I personally believe it might be a searcher. I think it might be a search effect just to make it more consistent. I also am part of that pool of people that think that every clan will get Astral Planes. Like, they'll probably be nation-based, kind of like Zeroths and Progenitors. So, like, all the United Sanctuary clans will use the Astral ones, whereas, like, I don't know, Stargate ones will use, like, a star plane or, like, a galaxy plane or something like that. So, would be pretty cool. I mean, I'd be really down for it. I just hope they roll it out, like, efficiently, and it looks kind of okay. The thing is that, like, they're rolling out Novas in Wave 1, or, like, Set 1, so there's the Stargate one. But then, obviously, like, only Novas will be able to make them, and so not every clan having them, if they do give them to all clans, will be interesting. So, I think it's too early to be judging, like, how the mechanic will be in the game. As for Genesis, obviously it's good. Like, as long as the plane itself has a nice effect and the Grade 5 has a... It doesn't even have to have a nice effect, honestly. The 70k body is already huge. Like, it has to be PG. Then you can put, like, triggers on it, probably. So, yeah. I think it's going to be pretty strong. So, like, that's interesting. We'll see where they go with that. Obviously, like, I like the new series. I think it's good. I always want new things. That's why I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Because they always challenge and, like, they try out new things. But, like, I'm cool with the Shin series just because we get to see characters that, like, a lot of people like, you know, whether it's, like, Rive, you know, Chrono's dad, or it's, like, Mikuru, or if it's, like, Shin himself, like, a lot of interesting characters and, like, from different angles and positions. So it should be cool. A lot of, like, fresh clans, like, Nova's getting their 3rd support of this year as well. That's, like, pretty crazy. So, like, Genesis, Nubatama will also be using tokens, apparently, in some way, according to the official website, the Japanese one. And then, on top of that, we had some other stuff. Like, Genesis, I mean, you know, Great Nature being the main villain is pretty cool. And, like Neo Nectar 2 and, like, Gold's, like, still getting support is interesting. But, I mean, like, we'll see how long the series is. It's probably going to be, like, 25-ish episodes. And then the reason why they only show, like, Gear Chronicle and then question mark for, like, the first or second extra booster of next year is probably because there might be, like, a small, like, probably the G manga being animated, I would imagine. So we'll see how that goes. But I just hope that, like, the equality of clan support, you know, evens out a little bit, because it's been pretty crazy. Like, obviously there's no Royals for, like, Royals or Kagero for the rest of this year. But, I mean, yeah, that's something. So Astral Plane seemed good in theory, and like the new support and the new anime, everything new looks good. I think it just depends how they execute it and like how much of a power difference there is with the current stuff. I think there won't be much. I think even with Astral Planes, like you will never be able to boost your Vanguard. Obviously, 5 force markers under Vanguard is big, but I mean like there's still the fact that it's gonna get PG'd eventually, and if it doesn't have crit pressure, then I mean a 73k with that like no other skills isn't that threatening. I'd argue that Himiko with 5 force markers is much more threatening. So we'll see about that. We'll see what all the supporting cards do. It's obviously just one card from the trial deck. Speaking of the trial deck though, there's another really good change that I like going into this, is that they're reprinting the Draw Perfect Guard in the trial deck. Only one copy, so you get 1 Draw PG and 3 of the Grade 1 PGs. So that kind of means you have to buy 4 or you have to buy 1 TD and then 3 of the original PGs. But it's good that reprinting the Draw PGs finally. Hopefully they keep that up for the rest of the sets, because I think it's about time. I mean, personally, I think some of them are getting a bit too expensive for like the sake of the game itself, and so I think reprinting them isn't a bad idea. And then finally, one thing I wanted to note from the Buddy Fight side of things again, but this isn't necessarily related to Buddy Fight. One thing they announced is that the winner of the Japanese circuit goes to the English World Championship Finals, and they said that that will happen on the 18th of January, which kind of tells us more or less when we should expect our Worlds too, so it should be on that same day or around that. But that basically means that Japan and the English side are finally merging in terms of tournaments. Like, finally. Like, this is something that a lot of us have wanted. I still want for Vanguard. They didn't say it for Vanguard, sadly, but I really hope that for Vanguard one day they combine the Japanese and the English side of the game for World Finals. Just like do like a limited card pool, just like up to a certain release, and then just like let both parties play together. Like, I really don't like that it's always divided. I think the game would benefit from having a joint community, like for like that WGP and BCS wasn't different, so it would be one merged thing. I think it would be really, really good. How do y'all guys feel about my raspy as hell voice? I'm just checking if I missed anything else. I feel like I got everything. Oh yeah, we got Vanguard 0 news. You can sign up for the beta on the Japanese side, but I mean, like, I'll leave a link if you want to. I already did, but keep in mind it's only for the Japanese version. The pre-registrations end at the end of July, and then the beta itself will take place like first half of August. So finally, stuff for the game. They showed off a fair bit actually in terms of like news for the game, so that's pretty good. But apart from that, I think that's more or less all the news. Lukier is getting interesting stuff. There's another Bermuda booster, but I mean, that's like whatever. Oh yeah, Narukami's coming back probably with Vanquisher. That's really nice. So is Aquaforce with Valios probably. So, I mean, I would expect Valios, or at least like something like that. But, I mean, to me, Vanquisher is going to come back. That's going to make the whole deck so much better and premium, I hope. So that should revive it to some extent. And then Shadows will come back with like the Claret. So that's also really good. Honestly, like, some of the news that we've seen was like really nice, and the fact that a lot of the like G anime characters are coming back, I think a lot of us are happy about. And then if they do like the G manga adaptation after that, then that's perfect. Like, to me, that's great. So, alright, I think this video is getting a bit long. I don't want to drag it out for too much longer, but I wanted to kind of reflect, not so much in this format of like, oh, look at all this news, but more of just like my thoughts, what I think, what it is. Some stuff that people miss. I think not enough people are talking about Bushinavi. Not enough people are talking about the fact that Buddy Fight has like merged worlds and what that could mean for Bushiroad games in the future. And yeah, I think they're just some things that are worth talking about. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, looking at new things. I'm obviously quite slow. It's already Sunday. I'm like 4 days late, or 3 days rather. Yeah, 3 days late technically. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a fun time, but I'm pretty excited for the rest of the year. We're going to be seeing a lot of this released throughout our world circuit, or like the end of the BCS circuit, so should be pretty fun to see how things evolve. So that's going to be it for me today. Check out all the stuff in the description as always, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.